Today, at the new video location, aka our office, we present another Wind Down Wednesday.
That felt very today on the barrel-esque. I think you've been watching a little bit too much OTB.
I might have been recently binged.
So we are actually technically reshooting this video because...
What did we learn, Samuel?
We learned to double check the memory card before you delete things. Because I didn't. We filmed this, it went great, and I deleted it before I fully edited it. But, whoa. Do you smell that? That is an aggressive nose.
This is an aromatic wine.
Yes. So, fun story about this one before we get in. This is going to be... I'm not even going to try to actually pronounce it. It looks like it's supposed to say Evolutio.
But the E's backwards. Yeah. I don't really know what that means.
Evolutio
any English
ferment.
makers?
First of all, not English majors. This is supposed to be a Hungarian wine, so...
If there's any people who know languages.
Any linguists out there. But this is going to be from Tokaj, Hungary, and on the back they say it's rich, elegant, floral with white peach, pairs well with salads, sushi, or white meats. I wanted to find a good Tokaj wine, like an actual Tokaj wine. This is not that from what I understand, but it is still from Tokaj. So, there you guys go. Gonna set that right here. And we will talk about the wine a little bit more towards the end, but today we are talking about balance. So previously we talked about how like your life should be balanced. You should be able to do a lot of different things, but more specifically, we're going to talk about how we keep balance in our crazy life. So our life is, I guess, interesting. You can do your thing.
Okay.
Don't worry about me.
I'm just here for the wine.
But so Heather is a PharmD. She works in a hospital as a pharmacist, so she's very, very, very busy. I'm a programmer, and the hours I work are a little odd sometimes, but again, can be very, very busy. Technically, if something goes wrong on the weekends or something like that, and I happen to see it, or if I'm on call, then I have to jump on and deal with that. But on top of that, we have a ton of things we like to do. So there's this side of things that you guys are seeing. We also run a small photography, videography, kind of like wedding event business.
So if you're looking for a DJ, photographer, or videographer, let us know.
We can help you out. So we also do that, as well as just a lot of different things. And people are like, how do you maintain all of these things? Balance.
I'm also an avid plant mother and zoo member. I got almond, but not... There's like a richness. Like the flavor you get after eating cake in your mouth.
I do get that. That's weird. We'll come back to this when we have more concrete thoughts here.
I have a lot of thoughts. I don't know what they are.
But marinate on it for a bit.
They're there.
So one of the things I like to do to keep balance, especially just with obviously everything going on with life, but then also trying to be whiskey and wine influencers, because when it comes down to it, you could call us influencers. We're on social media.
Educators.
That's what we'd prefer to be called, but there's a lot that goes on there. So obviously we are sampling a lot of wine, sampling a lot of whiskey throughout basically the week, or maybe like 1 week more heavily, just so we can get everything recorded and get it out online. One of the things I make sure that we're doing is basically working out relatively regularly, whether that's...
We both have different things that we enjoy. Samuel was involved in track and field at both undergrad, college.
Literally wearing my...
Did you plan that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, wow, that's impressive. I mean, he wears it all the time. So he tends to lean more towards, I guess, like traditional gym workouts.
I run a lot. and I lift a lot. That's basically what I do throughout my week to keep pretty healthy. But also, we do like yoga. Heather likes to do more things with.
I feel like I just need something to keep my mind attention. When I've tried having a routine in the gym, I feel like I ultimately just feel bored. And part of me feels like maybe I'm doing that wrong. But I tend to gravitate more towards things that are paired with music. So like Zumba classes or like dancing to music. Some of those are paired with weightlifting. And I find that tends to just keep me more interested during the workout versus
just straight working out.
Yeah. Although sometimes I do listen to like podcasts or things like that are more educational. Again, keep my mind kind of busy to forget what I'm doing with my body for like bikes or stuff like that.
On top of that, just making sure that we're balanced with like our meals and things like that. So we're not just, I shot 4 videos today and I tried 4 different wines, 8 whiskeys, which we don't do that. Do not.
That's too much.
Yeah. But we make sure that we're basically eating balanced. So say we might have had like a more meaty meal early in the week, then we're probably gonna have something that's more like veggie centric later, just to kind of just maintain that balance, as well as make sure we're getting the nutrients that our bodies actually need to keep going. Because again, even just with our jobs alone, being a PharmD, you are constantly on your feet and you are constantly thinking.
Yeah. I'm going all day for a 10-hour shift, and I do that 7 days in a row. So
it's a lot.
You have to kind of have a routine of healthy practices in order to be able to maintain that schedule.
So if you don't have a good balance in your life between just doing the fun things that you want to do, but also making sure you're taking care of your body, taking care of your mind, taking care of your emotions, whatever it may be, you need to make sure you have that balance to try to basically succeed in life. Because if you are too stressed in one of those areas, things are going to fall out. They're not going to be as balanced as they should be.
When I, enjoy a glass of wine or some whiskey, it's more so about that environment of community for me. Having it with somebody else or like relaxing. And, sometimes I'll have a non-alcoholic beer and I feel, just as relaxed by doing that in the setting of the activity I was going to do anyways, compared to if I had, an alcoholic beverage. So sometimes it's really considering what are you looking for.
So let's dive into this wine.
Okay, so what I was trying to figure
Bring
out,
you front and center.
Was it aged in something?
Unclear.
It does not explicitly state that on the bottle, which is what I was looking for. And my question, I feel like I'm getting some deeper, like earthy tones, vanilla. There's like a thick creaminess to it, almost. And that's where I wasn't sure if this was like a barrel influence or kind of where some of those flavors were coming from.
Not sure. So I'm trying to find some information on it from Wine Searcher, because that's typically what I like to do. Okay, so the grape of this is Ferment, which is a very interesting name for a grape. But this is a Tokaj grape. It's a variety associated with Hungary's most famous export, Tokaj. The variety is biting acidity. They blended a lot with some things. Oh, that's a lot more information than I care to know. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot going on here.
Initially seeing anything about aging.
I am assuming this was steel aged.
That's generally my assumption for white wines. And I don't get a buttery note.
Mm-mm.
Like there's no, it is not anywhere near a Chardonnay.
The notes I'm getting
are
are
in terms of an oat Chardonnay.
Pear, honey. I do get the almond that you were talking about, but it's not like a fresh almond. It's like a skinned almond. So it's without the skin of it. That's almost, also if you think of the butteriness of an almond, that's almost where that's coming from.
Yeah.
The nose is extremely floral. And it has a little bit of that almost sparkling mouthfeel to it. I really like this. It is very simple.
Like the white flour,
Yeah.
I think is the flavor that I would describe from it.
Did you say this was almost like an unoaked Chardonnay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
I
agree.
said it's not anything like an oaked Chardonnay.
I would say this is very similar to an unoaked Chardonnay.
Yeah. Because again, I don't have butter or any of those other... But that... Some of the flavors where I thought I was getting like a vanilla, I was almost curious if it was a short barrel aging period versus just like a longer fermenting and like a stainless steel. Because it's a lot of complexity to it.
This is from 2018, so
I wasn't
that's
expecting
also part of that. This is an old wine at this point.
Yeah.
But
it's
very
really
good.
Interesting.
I really, really enjoy this. And again, this was a accidental purchase, technically. I was looking for a true Tokai wine, which this is not, from my understanding. It doesn't taste like a true Tokai wine. If you don't know, Tokai wines are basically a very sweet dessert wine. A lot of information.
This is not very sweet.
No. Very zippy, very acidic.
I would say it doesn't leave your mouth with that astringent feel of something with high tannins. So it's like a low tannin, low sweetness, which is kind of that unique place and where that acidity and fruitness comes forward. Oftentimes myself, when I've always formerly thought of low sweet wines, I've always thought of them being paired with a high tannin wine, such as, red wines or things like that. This one is more of a higher acidity wine.
All in all, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Cheers to you guys. Have a good rest of your week.